Hello guys, welcome to my channel TechQuest Learning Point. I hope you are doing great. Today I am going to discuss about the question for the exam AZ-900. I think this discussion will help you to understand the pattern of question and this make you help to take the preparation for the exam. Okay, let's start. This is the second part. In my first part, I have already discussed the question 1 to 20. Let's start. First question in this video. Note, the question is included in a number of questions that depicts the identical setup. However, every question has a distinctive result established if the solution satisfies the requirements. Your company has an Azure Active Directory Azure AD environment. Users occasionally contact to Azure AD via the internet. You have been tasked with making sure that users who connect to Azure AD via the internet from an unidentified IP address are automatically encouraged to change password. Solution: you configured the use of Azure AD privileged identity management. Does the solution meet the goal? Option A, yes. Option B, no. Correct answer, option B. Now move to the next question. You are tasked with deploying a critical LOB application which will be installed on a virtual machine to Azure. You are informed that the application deployment strategy should allow for a guaranteed availability of 99.99%. You need to make sure that the strategy requires as little virtual machines and availability zones as possible. Solution: you include 2 virtual machines and 2 availability zones in your strategy. Does the solution meet the goal? Option A, yes. Option B, no. The correct option is A. The next question is, your company has an Azure Active Directory Azure AD environment. Users occasionally connected to Azure AD via the internet. You have been tasked with making sure that users who connect to Azure AD via the internet from an unidentified IP address are automatically encouraged to change password. Solution: you configure the use of Azure AD identity protection. Does this solution meet the goal? Option A, yes. Option B, no. Correct answer, option A. Now the question is, your company's developers intend to deploy a large number of custom virtual machines on a weekly basis. They will also be removing these virtual machines during the same week it was deployed. 60% of the virtual machines have Windows Server 2016 installed, while the other 40% has Ubuntu Linux installed. You are required to make sure that the administrative effort needed for this process is reduced by employing a suitable Azure service. Solution: you recommend to use of Microsoft Managed Desktop. Does the solution meet the goal? Option A, yes. Option B, no. The correct option is B. The next question is, the company would like to develop a cloud solution by making use of Azure Government. The Azure Government can also be used by certain types of clients to develop cloud solutions. Which of the following are the types of customers that can make use of Azure Government in this solution? Answer by dragging the correct option from the list to the answer area. Options: a government contractor from any country. Option B, a government entity from any country. Option C, a European government contractor. Option D, a European government entity. Option E, a United States government contractor. Option F, a United States government entity. The correct answer is the next question is, your company's developers intend to deploy a large number of custom virtual machines on a weekly basis. They will also be removing these virtual machines during the same week it was deployed. 60% of the virtual machines have Windows Server 2016 installed, while the other 40% has Ubuntu Linux installed. You are required to make sure that the administrative effort needed for this process is reduced by employing a suitable Azure service solution. You recommend the use of Azure reserved virtual machine instances. Does the solution meet the goal? Option A, yes. Option B, no. Correct answer is option B. You have been informed by your supervisors of company's intentions to automate server deployment to Azure. There is, however, some concern that administrative credentials could be uncovered during this process. You are required to make sure that during the deployment, the administrative credentials are encrypted using a suitable Azure solution. You recommend the use of Azure Multi-Factor Authentication (MFA). Does the solution meet the goal? Option A, yes. Option B, no. Correct answer is option B. The next question is question number 28. Your company's developers intend to deploy a large number of custom virtual machines on a weekly basis. They will also be removing these virtual machines during the same week it was deployed. 60% of the virtual machines have Windows Server 2016 installed, while the other 40% has Ubuntu Linux installed. You are required to make sure that the administrative effort needed for this process is reduced by employing a suitable Azure service solution. You recommend the use of Azure Dev Test Labs. Does the solution meet the goal? Option A, yes. Option B, no. Correct answer is option A. The next question. You have been informed by your supervisors of the company's intentions to automate server deployment to Azure. There is, however, some concern that administrative credentials could be uncovered during this process. You are required to make sure that during the deployment, the administrative credentials are encrypted using a suitable Azure solution. You recommend the use of Azure Information Protection. Does the solution meet the goal? Answer: option A, yes. Option B, no. The correct answer is B. The next question. Your company has virtual machines (VMs) hosted in Microsoft Azure. The VMs are located in a single Azure virtual network named VNet1. The company has users that work remotely. The remote workers require access to the VMs on VNet1. You need to provide access for the remote workers. What should you do? Option A. configure a site-to-site S-to-S VPN. Option B, configure a VNet to VNet VPN. Option C, configure a point-to-site P2S VPN. Option D, configure direct access on Windows Server 2012 Server VM. Option E, configure a multi-site VPN. The correct answer is option C. Next question. To complete the sentence, select the appropriate option in the answer area. When planning to migrate a public website to Azure, you must plan to: option A, deploy a VPN. Option B, pay monthly usage cost. Option C, pay to transfer all the website data to Azure. Option D, reduce the number of connections to the website. The correct answer is option B. The next question. You are planning a strategy to deploy numerous web servers and database servers to Azure. This strategy should allow for connection types between the web servers and database servers to be controlled. Solution. You include network security groups NSG in your strategy. Does the solution meet the goal? Option A, yes. Option B, no. The correct answer is option A. The next questions. What are two characteristics of public cloud? Each correct answer present a complete solution. Note, each correct selection is ortho on point. Option A, dedicated hardware. Option B, unsecured connections. Option C, limited storage. Option D, metered pricing. Option E, self-service management. The correct answer is option D and E. Next question. You are planning a strategy to deploy numerous web servers and database servers to Azure. This strategy should allow for connection types between the web servers and database servers to be controlled. Solution. You include a local network gateway in your strategy. Does the solution meet the goal? Option A, yes. Option B, no. Correct answer is option B. To complete the sentence, select the appropriate option in the answer area. An organization that hosts its infrastructure dash no longer requires a data center. Option A, in a private cloud. Option B, in a hybrid cloud. Option C, in the public cloud. Option D, on a Hyper-V host. The correct answer is option C. Next question. Your company's Active Directory forest includes thousands of user accounts. You have been informed that all network resources will be migrated to Azure. Thereafter, the on-premises data center will be retired. You are required to employ a strategy that reduces the effects on users once the planned migration has been completed. Solution. You plan to require Azure Multi-Factor Authentication MFA. Does the solution meet the goal? Option A, yes. Option B, no. The correct answer is option A. The next question. You have an on-premises network that contains several servers. You plan to migrate all the servers to Azure. You need to recommend a solution to ensure that some of the servers are available if a single Azure data center goes offline for an extended period. What should you include in the recommendations? Option A, fault tolerance. Option B, elasticity. Option C, scalability. Option D, low latency. The correct answer is option A. For each of the following statements, select yes if statement is true, otherwise select no. A platform as a service PaaS solution that hosts web apps in Azure provides full control of the operating systems that host applications. Option A yes, option B no. Correct answer no. A platform as a service PaaS solution that hosts web apps in Azure provides the ability to scale the platform automatically. Option A yes, option B no. Correct answer is yes. A platform as a service PaaS solution that hosts web apps in Azure provides professional development services to continuously add features to custom applications. This option answer is yes. Next question. To complete the sentence, select the appropriate option in the answer area. When you are implementing a software as a service SaaS solution, you are responsible for option A, configuring high availability, option B, defining scalability rules, option C, installing the SaaS solution, option D, configuring the SaaS solution. The correct answer is option D. For each of the following statements, select yes if the statement is true, otherwise select no. Azure provides flexibility between capital expenditure CapEx and operational expenditure OpEx. This is true. If you create two Azure virtual machines that use the B2S size, each virtual machine will always generate the same monthly cost. Correct answer is false. No. When an Azure virtual machine is stopped, you continue to pay storage cost associated to the virtual machine. This is true.